DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, one of those lunch breaks. Yeah. And it's Friday. Yeah, I'm a little bit more dressed up than usual because we've got a big meeting coming up this afternoon. And yeah, one of those where I have to wear the corporate armor. Oh, well, anyway. We're going to chat about today. Well, I've just finished over my lunch a 25-minute vlog from Dave Nicholson. And it was, I would say, a very interesting, intimate vlog. I mean, he's talking about things of life and how people will go away, pass away, and so on, and, family moments, family memories. And it just seems that it's a recurring theme, not only with him, but let me see how I can get this. A recurring theme with a lot of people these days. I think the thing is, all of us, I think he is close to 50, I'm coming up to 60 next year, and so on. So that means that we're getting on. We're not automatically gone, but the thing is we are getting on in life. And if you compare with the times we started with our, for example, our YouTube careers, if I can call them that way, well, we've aged. We have. And the other part of it actually is that people around us are aging as well. Some of us, myself, we still have our parents. Some of you have lost parents. We've lost friends. So yeah, life is something, or the brevity or longevity of life is something, as we all know, we cannot control. At the same time, we all know that we are going towards the same fate. I was listening to something this morning, and there was a comparison in that respect, talking about the waiting room of life. Now, the waiting room of life is kind of an interesting comment in a way, because it's actually a negative comment when you think about it, because when people are in waiting rooms, particularly medical waiting rooms, but waiting rooms in a general sense, usually people tend to be grumpy. And especially, if you're in a waiting room, let's say it's a pediatrician waiting room where the parents have, gone sleepless nights and so on, people can be ultra grumpy and so on. So maybe that's the whole thing about the whole waiting room of life thing, is that a lot of people, when we take life, we kind of look at it as a big, long waiting room. Behind me, there's a lady who was walking. She sees me here every lunch break. She just walks by usually, and she must be wondering, what is he doing again this time with his camera? But anyway, well, at least she hasn't stopped and cried out weirdo or something like that. Anyway, let's go on. But the guy I was listening to this morning made a very interesting comparison. He says that most pediatricians have added toys or something in the waiting room, so that actually you have a playground within there, so that actually the parents might end up being grumpy, but very often the kids might end up even actually enjoying it. And that is one thing that we can actually probably, I always say we, but I always include myself in the we, add to our own way of looking at life, is, yeah, we've got this playground in our hearts, actually, and that the only thing is that we want to play with it, play in it. I think that quite a few of us, at least those of you who are listening and watching me right now, have that playground in your heart. It's an important thing, isn't it? Actually, talking about playgrounds, there's just one over there. And yeah, there is that whole idea of, yes, we're in a waiting room. And yes, we know that one time our turn is going to come. And how long we're going to have to wait, we never know. It's the same thing as in a waiting room. But the playground in your heart, you can have access to it immediately. And you can play, so to say. You can grasp the pleasure. It's not always easy, But you know, it's a question of, if you look at, there's a toy box there. The toys won't come out on their own. You've got to go to the toys and play. Actually, very often playing means interacting. If you interact, I mean, there is something else that comes. So there's the whole question of, we could call it society, friendship, togetherness. And I saw comments, and I think a lot of people would say the same thing, is that many of our best friends now are actually online. I mean, that is because we went and grasped for that playground, which is the internet, and we try to make it, at least I try to make it a playground in my heart. Yeah. So, I mean, analogies are never perfect, as you know. But I think there is something there, is that we have no influence on that waiting room, but we certainly have influence on the playground. And our heart, well, it's part of us. I've vlogged many times on the importance of loving oneself. And actually, I think we often talk about the golden rule, you know. And I think actually is that the golden rule is something we have to actually very often apply to ourselves. We have to be good to ourselves. Not only good to others, I guess. Well, think about it. Okay, anyway, that's all for now. I gotta get off. DC signing off. Take care, everybody. And I hope you have a great Friday. The weekend's coming up. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, bye. DC signing off. Take care.